just a video of the banknote itself. I'll show you the banknote, what it looks like. So we have a booth here, so you're welcome to come back and see the note. The note looks just like that. It's gone vertical. A couple reasons for vertical. Obviously, there's more landscape now to put on the face and the image. The front is Viola Desmond. On the back, we have the Canadian Museum of Human Rights. It also allows us to be able to differentiate with the other notes. Right now, we have a current $10 bill in circulation. This bill would commingle with that. We also have the C-150 note, which we issued last year, which we only issued 40 million of. So that was more of a special note, but it allows people to be able to see the difference clearly. So this will be the future of banknotes in Canada. We will be going vertical for the next notes coming forward, so that's important. But I'm going to touch on some of the machine-readable features, which obviously will impact you guys. Okay, so we have an outreach program. The Bank of Canada works closely with the banknote equipment manufacturers, and our role really is to make sure that you as an industry know what's happening. The equipment manufacturers themselves obviously are a much smaller group, so we make sure that they have the details they need. We provide them with banknotes in advance. We make sure we have the conversation. So we had the public consultation. We actually had a discussion with them and said, this is our plan, this is what we're looking at. What impact is that going to have on you? And you can see the numbers of the participating banknote equipment manufacturers. They're fairly small, but that's really the best way to do it because they have such a large reach. We have meetings ongoing once a year, and we talk about the new notes. We talk about what's happening in your industry. We're trying to figure out what we can do to assist and how we could be able to provide a product that will impact the industry at a minimum. So these are conversations we have, and we've been having these for years now. With this particular note, we actually started the public consultations in 2016, and then we already had the conversations with the banknote equipment manufacturers back then. A couple of things that came out of those discussions and was clear was, first and foremost, do not change the substrate. If we go back to paper, we got a big problem. So that was very clear. You got to keep the substrate the same. So we stuck with the same polymer substrate. Also, the large window in the size, even though it's vertical, you'll notice that it's still in the same area as it being horizontal. So we kept that in the same area. And the machine-readable features, and that's something that impacts you, obviously. So while it's vertical, it still has a lot of those same machine-readable features, and typically in the same areas. So, as noted, we didn't make any change to the substrate at all. The border was maintained, and we also tried to, as much as possible, keep those machine-readable features in the same space. Even though it was a vertical banknote, it's still going to be read in the same format. Okay, so our plan, as we have in the past, is to make sure that the banknote equipment manufacturers have what they need in terms of information and products. So we've been sending out notes to the equipment manufacturers for months now. I know that they've started their testing and they've started all they need to do to get the machines ready for yourselves. So, so the idea is really by giving them the notes in advance, by making sure they have the product that they need, that when the note comes out, it will be ready to be accepted with the machines updated. Now, when is the note coming out? The note will be out before the end of the year, so we're looking at sometime either late November or early December, so you will be seeing it shortly. And that's something that's important because you need to probably reach out to your machine manufacturers and make sure you know what's the status, what's going on with the new note, and is it ready to be accepted. So you will see before the end of the year for sure that this note will be in circulation. It will be commingling with the current note, so you'll have both the vertical and the horizontal banknote. And then in the next few years, we'll start the slow process of removing the older series note and make sure that this one is the initial banknote in circulation. Any questions? Yeah.
What do you think the mix will be within a year of current notes versus the Viola?
So we're going to probably saturate the market for the first month or two. I think there's about 240 million $10 bills in circulation, and so we have quite a number of them out there. I couldn't put a number on it, but given that we're going to saturate the market, you'll have probably still a fairly low number, and I can throw any number out there. I mean, I couldn't tell you for sure, but it'll probably be 20-30% maybe, but that's just hypothetical. We will push out all the new notes in the first year, and because the idea really is that these notes have more longevity, so they last longer. Paper bill used to last about 2 years. Well, the Palmer bill lasts probably between 7 to 8 years. So we've issued in 2013, it has a lifespan. Canadians have paid for that banknote, so we want to make sure we can get that lifespan out of it. Otherwise, we're just throwing money away.